Geneva College Music Department Masterclass Series. The purpose of these master classes is to give you an idea of what Geneva College looks like, who we are, and how we work. So today, we're having a sophomore pianist, Alice, with us. I'm doing a little demonstration of a master class. If you're not familiar with the format of a master class, it is a bit like a workshop. It's a teaching demonstration to a small group of audience, and the teacher, in this case, me, will be giving a little lesson to Alice, just like our weekly lessons. Hopefully this will give her a little bit more insight of the piece she's working on and make her play better at the end of the class. So, Alice, could you tell us what you're playing for us today?
I play the Chopin, the Opus 31.
So Chopin Opus 31 is the second scherzo in B flat minor. Now this is one of the most popular piano repertoire for young students and older students alike. And there's a lot of great passages that are super romantic. They represent the quintessential Chopinesque characteristics. So without further ado, Alice, take it away, and I'll be giving her a lesson after she's done performing the piece. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Alice has been playing this piece for a little bit more than a few days. So if I had just given you this piece a week ago, I would not expect you to come in a lesson in a matter of days and play like that. Okay, just a disclaimer here. Don't be scared. It's like, oh my God, my first lesson I just sound like that. That's not the case. However, I do want to work on a lot of the reading elements and some sections that are more relevant to perhaps other pieces you're working on, not necessarily just this one. Now, this piece has a lot of unique qualities, something that's specific to this piece and to Chopin. We're going to talk a little bit about them, but I would like to talk more about a few passages from the piece, how to play legato, how to bring the melody out, how to sing it, and how to voice. And those are things that are more relevant not only in this piece, in every single, not just piano music, or any music that you play or sing. At our early stage of learning a piece, it's kind of hard. Our job is to do what the composer says exactly on the page. Now later on, maybe we can put our own interpretation, artistic ideas into it. But there are some secretarial works I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on here, but I want to point it out because it will be my bad if I don't mention it today, right here. For example, you might have heard in the audience there are a lot of repetitions in this piece, isn't there? Now to them, who's not holding the score and looking like I was, it probably didn't matter how you played these repetitions. But I've marked in this score every single repetition and every time you did not play what is written. I can point it out for you quickly. We're not going to go through all the passages here. This is for you to go home and be a good secretary and look through these spots, okay? So, where is it? It's in the repeat, usually. Oh, can you just do here? From here. This is the second round. Do you know what you did? Yes. That's later, not here. Right, so that's one here. Now it is what you just played, and then you swapped it to the old one. Let's see. That is not a dotted note. Now let's see your addition here. So make sure you don't start adding dots where they're even rhythm. So that's one. Let's use yours for here. Yeah. Oh, yours is. All right then. Here's another tip. I was just judging a competition this past weekend. You bring a score to your judge and present it to the judge, and we look at the score. Wonderful. It's all new and not marked. Beautiful. And the students start playing. Guess what? It's different. Now, half of the time I've been like, okay, I don't think this is a score he worked from. So it's important that you give your judge or whoever audition teacher is the exact same copy you were working from. All right? Otherwise, it create mistake on your part, and we're not aware of it. This is a rest here before. There's a bar rest here, and the next time it's a tied over note where there's not a rest, it's a tie. So that's that. They're missing left-hand octave notes. Da, 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 da. Right here. There are 4 of them. These are 2 or 3 you play. Okay. So there are a few places, like I marked in here, so you can go back and go through them. The repetitions to the audience probably doesn't make a lot of difference. It sounds the same to them. It's not what Chopin wrote, and if you don't do it, you're being a bad secretary. All right? And if you know, Chopin is pretty much honorary French. Even though he was Polish, he can wear the French hat and be, so let's honor that. 2, the rests. Count through the rest, count through the rest. Just because everybody does it doesn't mean you don't have to do it. It doesn't mean you have to follow their bad examples. There are a ton of recordings out there, if you look at it, and they're not counting very precisely, and they're doing weird bottoms in the opening. Don't do it. That's not what Chopin wrote. Everybody does it, it doesn't make it right. Okay? So our starting point in learning every piece is to be a very good secretary. And then we can start to think about, how can I enrich this piece as a pianist and as an artist? So that's that. The opening is so iconic. I can spend the next 2 hours on it, and we're not going to go any further than that. So I would like to come back to it if I have time at the end. I would like to start with this beautiful singing melody starting from there. Could you start from here? Whoa, did I just use the word phrase? How long was that phrase? Is it like the 4-bar, 4-bar, 4-bar symmetrical phrases we see in Mozart and Haydn? Nope. Nope. Do you know how many bars that was? How many measures? Couldn't even count. It was really long. That was a really, really long phrase. And that's why it's so beautiful. While during this phrase is going on, could you tell when it's going to end? No. If you're listening to a Mozart phrase or Haydn phrase, sometimes you can tell when the end is coming, like cadence is coming. We don't get it here. It takes flight and it suspends in air. And we have to do something about that. Now, what does that mean? Called anima. Anybody knows?
With life, with animation.
That's a really good guess. Almost right. No, that's animata. Yes, so close. Con anima, anybody else knows? A very, very common mistake. With soul. With soul. Now, what kind of instrument sings with soul? Not your question. What kind of instrument, including the human body, has the capability of singing with soul?
The voice.
The voice, thank you. And that's what this is about. It's singing, human voice singing with soul. Now, those notes you played are beautiful. They're not quite soulful. I don't hear the soul in it. Now, how do you make piano note sing with soul? This is a percussion instrument. The hammer hits the string, that's the end of that. How do we make a melody sing with soul? Can you just play the melody, the right hand actually? Okay, that F, the first note F. Was that soulful? Not really. So how do we make that note sing, make it ring, right? Let me try for you. Over here. Now if you just play, that's what happens. There are 2 notes going on here. Geez, this is the beginning of the melody. What interval is this? Tritone. Tritone. My goodness gracious, starting out the melody with a tritone. All right, let's make the tritone sing. We're going to talk a lot about relationship here today. So, how do we make the note sing? First, we got to play the bottom of the piece. You can't stay shallow here, right? Nobody even says piano there. The dynamic is up for our interpretation to some degree. It's probably not fortissimo, but definitely not pianissimo. And we need to voice the melody more than that, otherwise all we hear is that tritone, right? I'm going very slowly. Try to make the melody sing with soul. You hear that? It's a process of experimenting and listening with your ear. Does that note carry? I call these notes, when they have to sing, your last person in the 3,000-seat auditorium who couldn't afford the $150 ticket of front row has to hear it sing. I don't care what the dynamic is. It could be triple piano, but that poor fella in the last row has to hear the same kind of singing quality as the front row person does. Okay, can you try that? Slightly better. It's a little louder. Can you relax your arm, please? Your arm weighs way more than this. Alice, you're a very slender girl, but your arm weighs more than this. Now relax completely. Couch potato. There we go. Now, don't play. I'll play for you. I got her fourth finger. If I have all that weight. Imagine this is the bottom of the key. You're not playing on the top. And relax all the weight, except here. You're not relaxing there. And let it ring and sing. Can you try it? Not play. Better. Let it travel far, imagining this is a huge hall. Better. Hey, don't be afraid. Those two notes are the same. We want the top to sing more. Better. So who's doing the job here? This is us practicing here, trying to make this better. But the body part that's doing what I'm asking her to do is not her hand, is this. We've got to listen for it. Use your ears. If you're hearing it, whether you did it or didn't do it, that's the first step. Then you can try to make it better. Can we go, let's forget about the rhythm for now, just one note at a time. Make sure every note is to the bottom of the key, relaxed, and sings and rings. Better. Good point there. Did you guys hear this melody? Is that what you heard? Now, tell them was actually, you tell what you're playing was actually written here, from right here. You tried. It's the second voice. There's a bottom voice singing. Now, I know it has an accent there, but they can't interfere each other. It's a duet. I wonder what kind of duet this is. Let's talk about relationship here, because it's all about relationship in this piece or any piece we play. Okay? So first we have to make sure the note rings. So that each one of them is singing with soul. When you don't make the note ring, there's no soul in that. Okay? So let's try one more time. Which pedal? Now, a little bit. More at the top. Yes. You're making me jealous here because I can't reach that interval myself. She can. Now it rings a little better. Not 100% there, but you're on your way. Try to listen for it. Okay? So now each note has a little bit soul. We have to connect them. What we call legato music, right? Well, legato is not just this. Connect the note, don't lift up your finger, don't play staccato. Maybe that's the case when you're this little, but not at this level. Now, legato is about relationship between the notes. Right now, you've got your notes singing a little bit better, but I call them, these are a bunch of notes, kind of like your 500,000 Twitter followers or 350 Facebook friends. They don't have a relation with each other. They're there, you know they are. They may even have a name and a face. But they don't talk to each other and they're not related to each other. We need real relationship. Not your retweet, I don't like, thumb up, thumb down kind of relationship. We need them to talk to each other, to sing to each other. Now how does that happen? Singing, we gotta listen to the note after you have played them. You guys hear that? Now, what's the relationship between this F to the next E flat? What do you think? What do you guys, anybody? It's a full step down. Yes, that's correct. It is a whole step down. Now, that I tell people, your note has to relate to each other. That relationship can be love. It can be friendship, it can even be jealousy, it can even be hate, God forbid. But it has to have some sort of relationship, it has to talk to each other. Now this relationship, where does Chopin have to go if he was being a good composer? It resolves. Not a proper resolution, not quite, but better. If he resolved truly properly, it would be, or, there we go, that would be much better, right? But no, the E flat comes out of the F. So let's listen to the after sound of the F and develop that note into the E flat. For one, it's a continuation of the same phrase. For two, it sort of kind of alleviate that tension of the tritone just a little bit, but not completely. That's the whole point. It's conflicted relationship all the way through. Relationships are complicated, guys. So it is not a full resolution. It just softens up a little bit and makes you still wonder what's going to happen. So the F goes on. And then rises up, and it's like, okay, I just can't give up that tritone. I still have that conflict, arriving at different times. And it goes on, rises up. Perhaps we can sing this out, we can solve all our problems, and explore that possibility so your melody tells the story. Literally, from the notes, how they relate to each other. Can we go one more again? Those two notes don't talk to each other right now. Can we listen to the F? A little bit more. Listen, can you guys hear it? Okay, that's exaggerating it, because it's not that long. Relax. Too tight. Better. The after sound. See how much F you have left. Listen. Can you guys all hear that? Let's hear it first. The longer I wait, the more faint it's going to become, and the less my E flat is going to be. Fortunately, this note is not that long, so there should be plenty F left for you to work the E flat in. More. Better. Ooh, wait, this is going up. Rising up, so let's go up to the G flat. Let's go on an accent too on it. For the first time, we resolved the tritone. Did you guys hear that? Yay! Mission accomplished, only it got really complicated along the way. But we got there. Somehow it worked itself out. Boy, It didn't sound like a resolution at all, did it, when you played it? But it is. It's a complicated relationship that somehow we managed to work out that tritone and give it a proper resolution. Only 1, 2, 3, 2 measures, 3 measures too late. Okay, can we try one more time from there? I'll do it for you. Let's do this. How about just do that to interrupt. Oops, yes. Work on that, right? It is that satisfaction of resolving the tritone. So we have to sing it. And that's what I mean by having relationship with each other. Those notes have to talk to each other. And not just talk casually talking, but listen to each other. It's what we don't do anymore, is to listen to each other, truly listen to each other. Face to face, have a meaningful conversation. These notes, listen to it. For that resolution, of course, it got really complicated along the way, and we have to somehow work that out. Okay? So that's just one example. It takes time to work through a passage like this. Guys, relationship takes time and patience and hard work. Write that down. All right, let's go to here. I want to just quickly work through this passage a little bit. Actually, can you just play the right hand? Triplet is not very accurate. Ya, da, da, da. Triplet. There was a little dot in rhythm going on. Da, 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 da. We're putting a dot there. Okay. But I want to talk about that soprano line. I heard da, da, dee, da, da, da. What you guys heard? Ya, da, dee, do, do, do. Ya, da. Now what's actually written here is not that. It's not two little phrases being interrupted by a second voice down there. It's one long phrase. Like that. So we need to sing that E. It's not very convenient for the finger because you're going to hold it. But more importantly, you have to feel that connection of that E. Oops. Hear that? Can you still hear it? So instead of going, which you have nothing left by the time you have to play the next E, can we perhaps crescendo into it? So we have again, relationship. Grows up and then come down from that a little too soft there. Can you try it? You broke right before that. We just do the soprano. Don't worry about alto. Change finger before. There's another rule in unspoken rule, I guess, unless you're playing Steve Reich's Philip Glass or Stravinsky, and sometimes we always say you never play the same thing the same way twice. Okay? If it is a repeated note, repeated chord, repeated passage, there's something has to happen. So we have two E's in a row. Very inconvenient finger, because if you see her, she has to twist her pinky to get a legato. Switch your finger, make it a lot easier to play legato. Okay, let's try that. Let's stay on that. As long as you can. Try it again. Better. That's better. It's more legato. Because you know what? When boys singers sing this, they can use one breath. They to go again. For pianists, we're playing the same note again. Guess what you have to do? Lift up the finger and restrike the key. So we have to fight against every instinct, every bit of that of the piano, the percussion instrument, and actually make the legato happen. What's the best way to practice this? Exactly what I just did. Sing with your human voice, with soul on these melodies, every single note. Even though it doesn't say con anima here, I think we should make every note in our playing con anima, with soul. Every single note we sing has to have a soul. Now, your voice shape and form might be different, but right here, absolutely. That's bad me. We're not perfect. I can't make it come out exactly the way I like it every single time. That's what practice is for. We practice and practice and practice, and hopefully by the time we deliver our stage, it's going to come out the way we envision it, we want it. But the first step is you have to have a want. You have to have a vision. What should this sound like? And I would change all of this. That shape rather than that just broke up the phrases into two. And what's so wonderful Chopin does is that he does this. Once, and then twice. Third time, but the fourth time, he added a third element to it, so it's not just two together, it's three together. The phrases get longer and longer and longer. So dealing with these what we call French phrases is that they take off and they float suspending there, they expand, they sing, and they somehow end without us noticing they got ended. So these phrases require a lot of design singing quality to it, including what's coming up here. So difficult, and you're playing Leggero, not pretty good, pretty well. It's not heavy, but it's your $500,000 trigger follower. There's lots of them. They're pretty clear. They're technically correct. They don't sing, and they don't relate to each other. You need to sing it like a human voice would sing it. Now, you guys are singers. Is this easy or difficult to sing? If you had to sing that.
Well, but also hard because you're
Read, right? The arpeggio. Who sings arpeggio, right? So it happened to be very pianistic. It fits the hand really well, pretty easy to play. But it's not easy to sing, so we cannot. This is called your trigger followers with no relationship to each other. We need to give them a relationship. The way human voice would sing these phrases. So if you can carry home with this one idea of relationship between the notes. Now we haven't gone to the beginning. If I have more time, I'll talk about the relationship between notes and rests. Because this is more specific, particular to this piece, this iconic opening. Every single rest means something. I teach my students always, you have to learn how to play the rests. Most of you are pretty good at playing the notes on time. Most of you are not very good at playing the rests. Okay? We're not only responsible for playing the note, we're also equally responsible, even more responsible for releasing those notes. They're equally important. So really think about that. The relationship between the notes, how to sing the melody, each note with a soul, and the relationship between the rests. Of course, go back and study the notes and make sure each repetition is what it's supposed to be. But very good job, and thank you very much for being here today, audience included. And this is just a little snapshot of what we do at Geneva and how a lesson would run. This would be very similar to a weekly private lesson you would have in the studio. So if you're more interested about us, you can visit us at www.geneva.edu. Thank you very much for watching.